All right, SEC West fans. I got to do this thing from my iPhone. I've tried. Hell, I've done this 4 times already on my computer. Something with UStream and everything else isn't working, so I'm just going to do it this way. Um, Took a couple weeks off after that LSU Alabama game for no other reason than I was really disgusted with the whole. I mean, not my Tigers, of course, but the whole Penn State deal really had me down. To think that there was some football program out there that would cover up such things. Um, the football program is more important than some kids. Um, then, of course, Arkansas had a 19-year-old freshman tight end, number 88, pass away. I guess it was Sunday morning they found him. They have some good little candlelight visuals and stuff on Twitter. It looks pretty neat. I think they had a good service for him. Heart goes out to you Hog fans out there. That's got to be real tough. But I'm back to talk football. Um, I said at the beginning of the year that I thought that Tyler Wilson, the Hogs would have a better quarterback, more productive quarterback play than they had out of Mallett. And I looked at the stats, and Mallett had a better quarterback rating, much better, more completions, more attempts, more everything. But he had 12 interceptions last year, and Wilson's only had 5 at this point in the season. So it was about half of the interceptions. And to me, if Mallett wouldn't have thrown crazy interceptions against Bama, they probably would have won that game. They probably would have beat Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl last year if not for Mallett interceptions. So, I think I do think they had better quarterback play this year, but that's up to you Hog fans to say. The game's a 13.5 point spread. That's the last one I checked. It might have changed. Might have had some moves since then. I don't know. I think the folks in Vegas are thinking the same thing I am about this game. I like to talk about intangibles, but I think the biggest intangible on this whole game, and I think the most important thing is that Arkansas literally beat the Tigers' ass last year. I mean, they beat us on offense, whether they weren't making our all-American cornerbacks look silly, throwing over their heads. Patrick Peterson included in that. Morris Claiborne, our safeties. We were all confused. Petrino did a hell of a job against our defense, and we were outcoached. That's number 2 phase of the game. On defense, they put a lot of new blitz packages and stuff. Well, I don't know if it was new or not, but it confused the hell out of Jordan Jefferson, and he never was really the same all game. So they whooped us on defense. And if that wasn't enough, in the third and fourth quarter, they started running the ball. I mean, they ran the ball. I think in the last touchdown drive, they I don't think they passed the ball one time. They just kept running and running. Um, so going back to last year, at the beginning of this year, I thought that the loss of Davis, Nile Davis, would I wanted to pick Arkansas to win the West this year, but when they lost Davis, I said nuh-uh, because there was just so much power balance between LSU and Alabama and Arkansas that I figured that one player alone would make a difference. But lo and behold, if you look at the yards rushing per game, they're not far behind where they were last year. Probably 2 yards difference in average yards per game. A lot more. There's 2 primary running backs that's doing it. And Hog fans might say, well, if we had Nile Davis, he might have broke a few and all this. Well, maybe maybe not. But and plus, now Davis only played like half the season last year anyway. So maybe that's valid. I don't know. But at the end of the day, they're still averaging about the same amount of yards on the ground, which is fabulous actually. But I think the one intangible here of how we got whooped last year, I know the target's on our back. I know the Hogs are going to be very motivated in this game, especially with the loss of their brother in arms. And man, I don't want to make light of that because that's just a 19-year-old kid gone for I don't even know why. I think he just died in his sleep. It's a real bad thing. But I think, and I don't even call it a revenge factor. I just think that last year you can say, well, we were looking ahead, blah 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 blah, wanting to get to Sugar Bowl. I wouldn't say that at all. I just think we got an ass whooping. It was probably the worst ass whooping we've had since Florida beat us the year after we won the championship in '07. That was an '08 game in Florida. That was just a nightmare to watch as a Tiger fan. But I think we're going to come out. I think that we're going to be very prepared. I don't think it's going to be a repeat of an ass whooping. I think LSU is going to put an ass whooping on them and hurt them. And I think it's going to be similar to the way Alabama put it on them. Arkansas is a good team, but I don't know. They're not physical like LSU and Alabama are, and I think that's going to be the difference. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here. You Hog fans can keep sending me crappy emails and stuff. Just quit cussing me, man. But I think Tigers are gonna take care of business.